At times of crisis, families experience elevated levels of grief and loss. This grief and loss builds upon the issues of grief and loss that children may already have from family separations or disruptions, foster care or adoption, trauma or chronic stress, racism, mental health issues, medical procedures, and more. We all show our grief and loss differently. Adults or kids might cry, be irritable, maybe outright angry, worried, while others withdraw or shut down. Sometimes we hurt those around us with these emotions, even though we don't mean to. For kids who have experienced acute levels of trauma or chronic stress, and those who are more sensitive or vulnerable, during stressful times they might turn back to old survival behaviors, which can challenge the patience of those around them and really confuse us adults. It just happens. Regardless of the roots or expressions of grief and loss, there are things we can all do to help kids. Number 1, address your own grief and loss. This is the most important step. We repeat, address your own grief and loss. Our children mirror our emotions. They can't help it. If we act terrified or sad, their brains will send them messages of terror or sadness. These overwhelming messages can make them act out more. This doesn't mean you pretend like life is all unicorns and rainbows. It's not. Well, unless you're a unikitty or a catacorn, of course. But it does mean we take responsibility and action for how we broadcast our feelings around kids. If you're feeling stressed, overwhelmed, maybe even devastated, find another understanding adult to talk to. If you don't have another adult handy, you can write your feelings down, join a private online group, pray or meditate, or mutter quietly when your kids can't hear you to your cat, your philodendron, or even your pillow. Get it out. According to experts, naming your grief makes all the difference. That will help you to do what you can do next. Number 2, show up with true empathy. Embrace your best inner Brené Brown. Now that your own grief and loss is at least being managed, you can be more emotionally available to your child. Use what trust-based relational intervention calls the principles of connecting. Let your child know in a gentle voice with warm eyes and maybe a soft touch, if your child tolerates touch, that you understand things are hard right now. Tell them you know they might be worried, scared, confused, angry, or sad, and that it's okay to feel that way. Share a story or read them books about other people who have encountered hard times or who have lost things or even people they loved and triumphed, like Superman, Nemo and Dory, Dorothy, or your own great-grandma. You can't shortcut or hurry grief. But the comfort of knowing someone else understands is more powerful than anything else. Number 3, move with grief and loss. Dory's swimming advice turns out not to be fishy at all. Besides time and a supportive adult like you, a lesser-known antidote to the stress of grief and loss is movement. For centuries, song and dance have helped humans express grief and find meaning or respite. Grief and loss literally hurt our bodies. Intentional moving or singing can bring temporary relief. Kids already crave and need large motor movement. Frankly, we adults do too. Motion to music of all types and tempos, jumping, wiggling, spinning, running, can help keep grief and our kids from getting stuck. Singing along focuses breathing and regulates our heartbeat. The right songs can lift our emotions or help us feel understood. If we sing together, studies show our heartbeats can even synchronize. Whether for connection or just for fun, move and groove with grief. While everyone's grief and loss is unique, these small steps can help you comfort kids. But you are the expert. Only you know what's best for your family. We're just hoping these suggestions might help you weather the days ahead. For more resources on grief and loss, visit the Dougy Center, David Kessler, and learn more about trust-based relational intervention, TBRI, at child.tcu.edu.